What's up, guys? I've never really talked about something like this, not with people that I wasn't really close with anyway, but I understand how scary it feels to hear something, bad happen to you. Especially, if you're going in for just a regular checkup, just to make sure everything's okay. I always go to my checkups. I always get my PAPs done, and when I was 17, I went in and I had my pap done, and they told me that they would call me in a couple days, whatever. Didn't think much of it because that's what they always do. I've always been fine. And at this point, I had just broken up with my boyfriend at the time of 2.5 years because I found out he was cheating on me. And so I was going through a lot as it was anyway, and I went into my doctor's appointment, and I knew that there was something wrong because they had called me and just asked me to come in so they could discuss my results with me, and I was really scared. And I found out from my doctor that I had cervical cancer causing HPV. One of the reasons that I really wanted to talk about this with people is because when I found out, I didn't know anything about it. I was horrified. I started crying my eyes out in the doctor's office. I was just horrified. I was so scared. I didn't know who to turn to. I didn't know if I could tell my mom, I felt like I had this horrible STD, like it was scary. And, it's gotten out and people have found out, and my dog's eating everything in my room. But, people found out, I told a couple close friends, but if you want a secret, you obviously can't tell anyone. Some drama happened in my life, and people like to talk bad about other people, so a lot of people told other people about me. And that's one of the reasons why I wanted to discuss this, because I don't want anyone out there to feel alone. I don't want you guys to feel scared. I don't want you to feel like you're dirty or you're disgusting, because that's how I felt. My boyfriend had cheated on me with another girl. Yes, I did have unprotected sex with him. I was with him for 2.5 years. And I'm not saying that that's an excuse, but I trusted him, And even if that's not the case, even if it is just, you're just sexually active, don't consider yourself dirty, don't consider yourself a whore, don't consider yourself a slut, because you're not. Generally, 3 out of every 5 women have come in contact with the HPV virus in their lifetime. The majority of women have it, more than half. It's not an STD that will... I'd like to call it an STI anyway, because it goes away for most cases. It's not an STD that you have signs or symptoms of. Men, don't ever blame your man, because he doesn't even know that he's a carrier. Guys will never ever know. They don't get, even if you have, genital warts causing HPV, there's hundreds of different kinds, and mine was cervical cancer causing. So even if, you think that you got it from this guy or whatever, you can't pin that on them. They don't even know that they have it. The only reason I was upset was because my boyfriend cheated on me. But, they don't know they have it, and it's not fair to point fingers. It's very, very common nowadays. The reason why I'm so open about talking about it now is because recently I went to get my 6-month checkup because they monitored the cells on my cervix, because cervical cancer runs in my family. And I'm super excited because for the first time in 3-4 years, it feels like a weight's been lifted. When he came back and told me that everything came back clear, I don't have any more cells on my cervix. I don't have anything anymore. And I was really excited about it, and I feel like that's one of the main reasons why I'm so okay with talking about it now. As hard as it is, and it's kind of embarrassing because there's still a lot of people out there that don't know. A lot of stuff where I come from is just he said, she said bullshit. But I really just want girls to know, it's okay. Don't be sad, don't be scared, you gotta take care of yourself, of course. You don't want it to get out of control, you want to keep it monitored. Because in some cases, it can lead up to more serious things. And as funny as it sounds, it's not so much an STD, even though it can be transmitted sexually. Sometimes it's not. It can be transmitted by the mouth. It can be, you know what I mean? It can be transmitted in any way. But it's kind of like your vagina has the flu, basically. It's just a virus, and it just kind of sits there. It doesn't do anything. You don't get, discharge or you know, bumps or, you know, nothing like that. Like, it's not going to change who you are. I just don't want people to be scared. I want you to know that it will be okay. Luckily, in my case, it went away. And like I said, that's why I feel so comfortable talking about it now. But I really don't want other people to go through what I went through alone. Yeah, I had support from so-called friends or whatever, but, you know, I was still alone. I didn't know anybody else that had it. Nobody talks about that kind of stuff, you know? And I just want people to know that it's okay. I don't want people to feel scared. I don't want people to feel like they're, like I said, like they're dirty or like they're nasty or like they did something wrong, because you didn't. Because you can get it anyway from any person and they don't know. Nobody knows. And sometimes it takes months up to years to find out that you even have it. So this was kind of like a really awkward subject for me to talk about. I've never really done a video like this. But I do want you to know, like, it is going to be okay. Just make sure you take care of yourself. Make sure you go to your 6-month PAPs. They like you to go in every 6 months to monitor it. You know, there's hundreds of different kinds, but don't be scared. And one thing that my doctor told me, I just moved here, moved to Tennessee from Michigan, but my Michigan doctor, when I found out I had it, he told me that I would have it for the rest of my life. He told me that, you know, it's not something you can get rid of, and blah, blah, blah. I did a bunch of research on it. I felt like I wasn't getting the answers I needed. There's still some unanswered questions I have about it, but now that I'm seeing a really good doctor, you know, and he told me when I went in for my original checkup, he told me that at my age, you know, if you're like under the age of 25 or something, he said generally your immune system will fight it off. And luckily that's what happened for me. I was so excited, you know, I don't want that weight on my shoulders. It's hard to talk to your sexual partners about it, you know, like, you don't want them to think differently of you. You don't want your friends to think differently of you, and I don't want you guys to feel like that. Honestly, it's not even something that you need to tell your sexual partners. Just protect yourself, obviously. Like I said, men are carriers. They don't even know it. Girls are the only ones that can find out that they have it, and you don't even show signs or symptoms. Like, there's no way you can tell. So don't blame yourself. Like, just don't blame yourself. It's a really hard subject to talk about, and it might make you feel really uncomfortable, but I really, really, really wanted to make this video to make you guys, you know, feel okay with it. You're not alone. So many people have it. If you're standing in a room with 20 people, chances are between 10 and 15 of those people have it. And chances are half of those people don't even know they have it. So, you know, just don't be scared. Just don't be scared. Don't be sad. Don't be upset. It's a part of life. It's not like you have something that will stick with you for the rest of your life. No, there's not medication you can take to just kind of boot it like you can with other things. But it will be okay. It's not that scary. You know, I've never felt different. I've never had worse, you know, periods than usual. I've never had symptoms of it. None of those things. So I just really, like I said, I just really wanted to make this video because I don't want people to feel the way I felt when I found out. I was scared. I was alone. I didn't know who to turn to. Google wasn't giving me the answers I wanted to hear. Like, I wanted to talk to someone. But nobody was willing to talk about stuff like that. So that's why, as hard as this is going to be, and I know everybody who knows me is going to see this video, but I don't really care because I'm proud to say that, you know, I'm just another human being. I'm another person who had a serious relationship for a long period of time, and, you know, maybe he got it from his previous partner, maybe he gave it to me from cheating on me, like, whatever. I forgave him. We're still friends to this day. It's not worth holding grudges over. It's not worth being upset about. Like, it's just another part of life. There's nothing you can do about it. Just make sure you eat plenty or drink plenty of probiotics. That's one thing that the doctor will tell you is the best thing you can do. It'll help prevent any kind of problems down there. And, you know, it's good for you anyways. But I just, like I said, I just really wanted to talk about this. I don't want you to feel alone. And if anybody out there at all, I don't care if I know you, if I don't know you, like, I'm not embarrassed to talk about it anymore. I'm a normal human being. I'm not a bad or dirty person. Like, I can count on, you know what I mean, like 2 hands. I'm 21 years old. I can count on less than 2 hands how many sexual partners I've had. And I know that I'm not a slut. I know that I'm not a whore. And that's why I'm not scared to talk about it anymore, because I finally received enough information to know what I was dealing with. So please, if you guys get that phone call, like, just make sure you check on yourself though, you know, like, go into your and get your 6-month PAPs, get your checkups, you know, make sure you're okay, but don't be scared. Just don't be scared. It's not worth it. It's not worth being upset about. There's nothing you can do about it. And, you know, it's just like getting the flu or getting a cold. Like, it just happens. And it's not even always transmitted sexually, like I said. So I just really, really, really wanted to get that off my chest because I know how I felt when I found out. And it was really scary. And I don't ever want anyone else to feel like that. And if there's anything I can do to ever help anybody else, I will, because I didn't like the way I felt. You know, I had never even heard of anybody having it, so, like I said, if any of you guys, anyone at all, I don't care if I know you, if I don't know you, if you have any questions at all, just comment below, or send me a private message, and I will respond to you. I'll be here for you. I'll do whatever I can to console you, to make you feel better, because it's really not worth putting your life on hold. It's not worth stressing out every day or being scared or thinking that something bad's going to happen to you, because chances are it's not. You know, cervical cancer runs very strong in my family, and I had cervical cancer causing HPV. And, you know, I was really scared that I was going to get it. You know, my aunts had a hysterectomy. My grandma died from ovarian cancer. You know, it just runs really strong in my family, so I was really scared, but I beat it. So I don't want everyone out there to feel like there's no hope, like you don't have a chance, because you do. And that's something, like I said, I just really wanted to talk about, as weird as it is, as scary as it is, because I know everyone's going to find out, and people are probably going to run their mouths, but, I mean, that's okay, because deep down, especially if it's girls, deep down, more than half of you know that you have or have had it. So, I'm just going to be the person that's strong enough to talk about it, to console other people, because it's not fair for you to feel scared. Like I said, if you have any questions, comments, or concerns, feel free to get a hold of me. You can comment below, or you can send me a message. Either way, I will do whatever I can to console you. Just don't be scared. It's gonna be okay. And it's very, very common, so don't feel like you're a bad person. And I think I pretty much covered it, so if you have any questions about anything, like I said, feel free to ask.